Well, welcome back to Good Day. I'm here with Robbie Davis, and he is the Georgia Thespian Society Hall of Famer. He's just been recently inducted. Now, I got to give you a little backstory on what the Georgia Thespian Society is. The Georgia Thespians Hall of Fame was established in 1991 to recognize theater educators who've distinguished themselves in the classroom and on stage for a minimum of 20 years. Since 1991, 30 people have been inducted into this group. Since 1991, 30 people seems like it's a very small group. So how do you feel being able to be part of this group of people?
Well, of course I'm honored. I think it's a small group of people because you know, not a lot of teachers stick around for that length of time. I guess some people are smarter than we are, and they move on to more lucrative things. But yeah, it's a distinguished group, and it's an honor unparalleled in my career. I think it reflects that your colleagues around the state respect what you do and are appreciative of the work that you do with your students and within the organization, and it is an honor, and I'm humbled by it.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
It's very significant, and you're able to really affect so many students and be such a great role model for them. But you just recently did have a kind of a presentation where they did award you.
We did.
And how did that go? What was it like?
Well, it was a magnificent experience. In February, about the second weekend of February every year, the Georgia Thespians, which is a massive organization. Georgia is the second largest thespian organization chapter, we call it, in the United States, in the world, in fact. Wow. And about 4,000 students and their teachers gather each February in Columbus for a 3-day conference. And the students take classes with theater professionals from all over the world, with college faculty. They audition for scholarships, and they audition for admission into college and conservatory programs. They perform for their colleagues. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
It's just an incredible experience. And in the opening ceremonies of this year's conference, my wife came to the lectern. She was called to the lectern, and she began to talk about the new inductee into the Hall of Fame. And of course, it was at that point that I was just blown away.
I'm sure.
And then surpassing that, when the chairman of the Board of Education, Mrs. Sylvia Van, and our superintendent, my principal, and one of our assistant principals, they came on stage. My brother and my nephew, my own daughter who was there performing, they all came on stage, and they were there along with the other members of the Hall of Fame to welcome me in. That was a pretty amazing experience.
Well, we're going to hear a little bit more when we return. We're going to hand on over to Chris. We are back with Robbie Davis, learning about the Georgia Thespian Society, and he just recently was brought into the Georgia Thespian Society Hall of Fame. And so we've been learning all about that. But you told me something interesting that, people sort of throw around the term thespian, but what does it actually mean to be a thespian?
Well, of course, that's one of those words synonymous with being an actor. Mm-hmm. But when we say thespian with a capital T, that means that you're a member of the International Thespian Society, and it's the highest honor that a high school performer can receive in the world. Back in about 1929, the organization was founded as a way to recognize high school students for their excellence in performance and in technical theater management. And you have to, as a student, you have to acquire or accumulate more than 100 hours of participation. And of course, be good at it to receive an invitation to become a thespian, a member of the Thespian Society. Now, for adults, the Educational Theater Association oversees the thespians, and that's who coordinates the activities for students around the state. And it's a very exciting thing.
Sure. Now, the convention, you were saying that you had lots of different students performing and all of that.
Well, we were so honored that our fall production of a brand new play called The Cherry Sisters Revisited, which is about a group of sisters who were in vaudeville, was invited back in the winter, back in the fall, to perform, and we performed twice for the 4,000 people who were there, so that they could all see it, and that was a pretty amazing. I think they were just superb performances. We had students who vied for scholarships, and they were vying for the opportunity to audition for some of the finest college programs in the country. We had students participating in what we call individual events, and we had a group of 14 performers who did the rap number from Footloose called, what is it, Dancing is Not a Crime.
Okay.
And they got superior ratings, and now they've been invited to perform at the International Thespian Festival, which is held each year in Lincoln, Nebraska.
That's great. Well, some really wonderful things going on at Lee County High School. Make sure you guys keep an ear and an eye open, because coming up, they're going to be doing Thoroughly Modern Millie, one of my favorite musicals. We'll be sure to have them back to kind of show off a little number for you guys. But keep an eye on Lee County High School. Lots of great things coming out. Again, Robbie Davis, congratulations on your great honor. We appreciate you talking with you.
Thank you very much.
On over to you, Chris.